So thank you so much for coming to Tim's 2-Minute Tech Tuesday. Today we are going over white ink. We are going with Speedball against Bombay. The Speedball is called Super Pigmented Acrylic and Bombay is an India ink. So these are very good companies and I'm excited to see head to head which one is the best, and I know you're going to want to see that. This is going to be a head-to-head, no bars competition, unbiased to see which one actually erases better, covers better, and works well with tinted paper, because I'm going to be using it with my tinted paper in India ink technique. Coming right up. All right, let's just jump right into it. So the Bombay's on the left and Speedball is on the right. Right off the bat, I can see that the Bombay is a little warmer, and that's interesting, you know. Whites are not created the same, just like black is not created the same. You have your warm whites and your cool whites. So definitely Bombay would be a little on the warm side. However, looking at the flow as it comes out of the bottle, I would have to say that the Speedball is a little thicker and it was a little bit more difficult to actually dilute. So this is something that's going to be interesting. Okay, first up is the Bombay India Ink, and we are going to go ahead and just do some quick lines here, see what the flow is like, what kind of control we have. Now, I've been using Bombay India Ink for quite some time. It's no surprise how wonderful this ink is. It builds very nicely, as you can see. It is very smooth and it doesn't dry up or spit. It's just a really great ink that you could layer. What I like to do, of course, is let it dry before I keep putting one layer on another. The paper is Canford cardstock and it is gunmetal, which is really great with the white. It's a nice mid-tone. So definitely, if you get a chance to use this paper with the Speedball India Ink, it's really fantastic. But so far, as you can see, really nice. Just the flow and the coverage, and I have control, so I could go ahead and build up a highlight as I'm doing now, and it's really a pleasure to work with. So so far it looks like Bombay White India Ink is going to be very difficult to beat. Now, erasability, that's never been Bombay's strong suit with the White India Ink. As you can see now, using this very porous textured paper, even though it's a cardstock, it has a lot of texture. So you can see I'm having a hard time erasing. This is something that I've learned to deal with in my technique, that I don't do too much erasing with the white. But I'll be interested to see how the Speedball does. Speedball Super Pigmented Acrylic Ink is up next, and as you can see, it has a little better coverage than the Bombay, and that's really nice. It is thicker, and the thicker, as you can see, is causing some problems. Even though I did dilute it as I did with the Bombay with the same exact skim milk texture, it just doesn't seem to flow as well when it comes to fine lines. And this is clearly a handicap with this. With my technique and doing detail work, I really need those fine lines. So definitely Bombay is definitely the winner in this particular category. Okay, now for the gradation and modeling of the form test. And as you can see, I'm about maybe 3 inches away from the surface, and I'm getting some really beautiful gradations, really nice, cool coverage. I really like it. I like the way it flows when I'm doing sort of less detailed work. It seems to really hold its own with Bombay, which, you know, you really have to love it. So looking at this, I think it really is doing well, and I'm very happy with it. Just don't like the fine lines. Just like Bombay, I really love the way that the white will build up if you keep going over it over and over again. After it dries, you can really build up some beautiful highlights. This is perfect if you're doing the way the light hits the nose or the specular highlight on the eye. One thing that was a really nice surprise is that the Speedball actually erases much better than the Bombay, so it's definitely a plus with the Speedball. Very interesting. So they both have their pluses and minuses so far. So time for the report card. So I would say that the Bombay White India ink does have much better flow in the airbrush. That is very important to me in my technique, and I think any airbrush artist, flow is definitely key. However, the Speedball erases much more easily, head and shoulders, so that is definitely a plus when using the Speedball pigmented acrylic ink. To me, this is the most important thing in this whole head-to-head match, is that the Bombay White India ink does give me more control, and that's what I need. However, one more plus for the Speedball is that the coverage is much better. You get a much cleaner white, so that's a good thing. It wasn't really a landslide. It was a pretty good battle. So final results: Bombay warmer, better flow in the airbrush, more control. Speedball flows better, erases easily, and better coverage. So now it's just time to go ahead and grade these two. Which ones will I recommend for white with my technique of India ink on tinted paper? So the winner is Bombay with a 90, and in a close second is Speedball with 85%. I just can't get over how much better flow and control you have with Bombay. Thank you so much for coming to Tim's 2-Minute Tech Tuesday, and it was so cool to see the winner of the White India Ink or Pigmented Ink Challenge, of how it works on tinted paper with the airbrush. Always remember that all the products that are used, like in this video, my airbrush, the erasers, the video equipment, all are in the description field in the Amazon store. I also have a special offer for my airbrush, which is the Extreme Patriot Arrow. You will see USAairbrushsupply.com and use the code timothypsa. That gives you 10% off. Not a bad deal, and you'll be helping out the channel, so it's a win-win situation. Don't miss next week. It's going to be just exciting, maybe even more exciting. So I hope you have a great week. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you then.